You're basically looking at either Paletti or Perkins,
Yes.
okay? Plus
All right,
each other one,
Let's start the meeting. Give me a minute. All right, call the meeting to order. Workshop, September 2023. Please rise and salute the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilman Hanlon.
here,
Councilman Lewandowski.
here,
Councilman Niles.
Here.
Supervisor Moreno.
Here. All right, we'll open for discussion on the loan, the USDA loan.
We got some new info from Ron,
Yeah,
made it a little easier to figure out apples to apples. Guess he has answered the questions I had with this.
I guess my only questions, Ron, is have you got any kind of an idea what we discussed at our last meeting? How much additional cost to you in regards to culverts, stuff along shoulder stone, all that stuff, trucking, which should be added into this, just a rough figure, additional. The parts you guys are gonna do.
For these 3 roads up top or for everything?
For roughly everything.
I did not estimate that in,
Okay.
not for everything.
Okay, how about the top 3? What would you say?
The top 3. It's hard to say because I usually stockpile the shoulder stuff
Yeah.
and we take it from there and go up to our road. And I usually just do road by road.
Right,
So it's kind of hard it's a 2-foot area of shoulder that we do.
okay. How about brushing and things of that sort? Just an idea.
Of brushing.
Yeah,
So-
you gotta brush out culverts if you're repairing anything like that. Another $100,000, would you say, in labor, materials and everything? For
No,
7 roads?
for
3.
the top 3,
Or just the top
no,
three?
I wouldn't say that much.
Just so we have some
Say that much.
accurate,
It's kind of hard because I got culverts, some already in stock
Yeah.
off last year's, monies and stuff, so.
Have you ID'd surveyed the culverts to find out on these roads, which ones have you looked at and surveyed them and
Yes.
identified? I know there's on Wall Street's got that one that's in front of.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jeez.
Potash Road, we've already gone through and did culverts. Thomas Road, we have 3 more to change out right now, and that road will be good. And I got 4 or maybe 5 on Howe Road to do.
okay,
Doing the culverts is not, we can pop them in and out. We can do 2 a day, so we can get them done.
You have the culverts, you have a stock already from
I'm not
leftovers.
sure if I have every one for each road, but I know I got Thomas Road and I believe Howe Road,
okay,
except for one culvert on Howe Road because it's a squished culvert.
and you got round.
And I want to put that same size back in, so
So that'll be nowhere near 100 grand.
no.
No,
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
I would say 50
50?
for everything, yeah.
We just want to make sure,
For culverts and
labor,
shoulder
shoulder
material.
stone,
Yeah,
For the first 3 roads.
so that's
Yeah.
another 50.
yeah.
Are you using it's the apparatus is used for the shoulder stone, or are you doing it by hand?
The top 3 roads would be the company that we use.
Gotcha.
They would have the machine to do that.
Yeah, that
These other roads, these other roads that we can do, we fabricated a chute off our Sanders.
To dump it.
Do it ourselves,
Okay, good.
okay?
Yep. What would you say on the other roads, roughly? A figure. I know that's hard to put you on a spot.
Yeah, it's so hard to calculate how much square yardage you need on a
Yeah,
foot wide
I know.
Well, that was tough because you don't, not till
30.
you crack it open and look in there, you might not.
30,000 maybe?
Right.
Cause I've gotten a big stockpile before and it's come up to about 20.
Yeah,
So to do all these roads. It. 30,
okay, just so we, you know,
yeah.
you got that and your labor and fuel
Yeah.
cost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I didn't add up the labor and everything.
Okay.
It's. You know, stuff that we do every year, we're gonna do it anyways, we're working, doesn't matter what we're doing. So,
It's still an 8-hour day.
yes.
Yes,
So that,
10
that's
hour
a 10 hour, it's a wash.
Yeah,
yeah.
So if we do add up all of these, we're looking at 744, 900 round numbers. 50. For the
There's 100.
ballpark for the extras and 339.5 for the other 7.
I did forget one thing, and that's the
30 for the
cost for the paver to do our highway paving down below.
Okay,
Is
What's that per day?
1,500 per road or per day.
Plus fuel.
so the average is what? Approximately 2 days per road?
Yes, yeah, if
That's what I
it,
kind of
yeah.
figured.
If it's a mile, it's definitely 2 days. If it's, yeah, it's 2 days for,
6 times 15.
in round numbers, that's 1,164,000,
1.6,
1.16.
1.16.
That's adding. Rounded the numbers just to make it a little easier, that's adding 744, 900, which is rounding this first number off a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
plus the 50 ballpark,
Yeah.
plus the second page total of 339, 500,
Mm-hmm.
plus the ballpark of 30
Okay.
is 1,164,400.
So that should clean us up in pretty good fashion.
Now, if we borrowed that, what would you do with the CHIPS money?
the CHIPS money. I could figure on. These are the, I would say,
The hot ones?
yeah,
That's an understatement.
yes.
Would you agree with
And
that?
then
hot
the
ones.
roads that I would do are mediocre. And then it goes to, to the good ones.
Come on.
I still have plenty of roads to do with that CHIPS money.
Yeah.
Plenty. I don't want to do anything that's got a water line. Because it'd be stupid to do the road up above and not do the water line. Church Street, you're at $1 million. I had Arcadius give me an estimate.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, it was 1 point something just for that small road.
There's a lot of work that needs to be done on that.
Oh, that's.
Oh,
culvert
yeah, everything.
down.
Soup to nuts. It's
That's
gotta,
everything,
Yeah,
Yeah,
water lines,
water lines,
gotta be drain lines.
drainage, yeah, repaving,
sewer, if we had it.
yeah.
That's a good place to start.
So
So
I didn't add any roads with water lines. Not until we get a grant or something, I don't.
1.16, you said, Jim?
Yeah, 1.164,400. And that's gonna be off by a few $100 because I was too lazy to add in 5s and 10s.
roughly 1.2.
And keep in mind, that money I get from the state,
Could
What-
change.
what I don't spend will roll over to the next year. Okay, remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which now
But we
helps.
have to spend it first. Before we get it from them.
Say that again,
We have to spend that money first.
the state money?
Yeah,
Yeah, then we get
Then
reimbursed.
we get
and then you get reimbursed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I say we go ahead and at least go for 1.2 million. My feelings.
How would you feel about anything on top of that for just in case, for unexpected? Is that a concern? I mean,
I'm sorry.
well, we're getting down to numbers here, but
Yeah.
do you feel comfortable getting that accurate or would you?
The
Give
whole
a bit
problem
of a
is,
buffer
I
zone?
would feel extremely confident with 1.2.
the only thing
Extremely.
is, you gotta also remember. If for some reason, the applying for the grant or the money, all the paperwork, the state paraphernalia, everything else. These quotes that Ron got are good for 30 days.
yeah, that's a good point.
If we don't make it where either Paletti or Perkins can go in and get that, we got to budget enough money for the spring. And you know, the cost of living, cost of
Mhm.
everything else,
Still going up.
we got to get a figure in there of 1-2% increase on the total price from them.
Well, if we,
Or
okay,
increase it,
all right, that's true. I guess that's a better way of putting it.
okay?
You know, that's
Yeah,
more
There's
accurately.
definitely gonna be an increase, but I don't think it's gonna be dramatic.
Should we plan for an increase because
But
things are
there's
going up?
definitely gonna be.
You
an
know what I mean, Jim?
increase.
Gene, what is your feeling about how long is this going to take to get a grant through?
Well, that's hard to say right now. He told me about, could be 30 days, you know, but I don't know, you know, it depends on how busy they are.
Well, we
And
got to go out, depending if we're going out for just a town referendum, or we got to go for a permissive referendum, how we're paying it back. That changes it there.
Want me to read this email from Mary?
Yeah, please.
This is August 7th, okay? I looked into the process regarding the USDA loan. And the board will need to pass a bond resolution and enter into an agreement with the highway superintendent. I assume just paperwork. Bond resolution must include the maximum estimated costs. Plan for financing, in this case, borrowing it. Whether the loan will be paid back in 5 years. If not paid back in 5 years, the resolution is subject to a permissive referendum.
What they said.
Yeah, which I think that in English means you gotta wait 30 days to see if anybody
Well, you got to put it out
brings it up.
to the
That's if
townspeople and
you're
everything else.
Bonding it for more than 5 years.
Yes,
Yeah. And describe the project, for example, what roads will be included.
yep.
We can draft this resolution, blah, 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 blah.
Thoughts on that?
But what's,
I-
say 1.5% of $1.2 million.
Feel better, comfortable doing two? I mean,
Uh,
it's in weird times we're in. This is,
Problem is you have to pay it back.
yeah,
I'm not
No.
disagreeing.
but like, Jim said, we have the CHIPS money.
The worst thing I don't want to happen, if we're going out to borrow all this money. Is we're saying we're going to do this stuff. Prices go up, this happens, and the overall price ends up going up. And we don't have the money to do it. I don't want to go back out and try to get more.
In our SOL.
you wouldn't be able to put it in the budget.
Now, would we,
Pardon, Gene?
You wouldn't be able to put it anymore in the budget.
would you
Right.
just cut back? Would,
mean,
I mean,
you
we
know,
would just, if it
I'm
went
not
up, we
telling
would
you
just
guys
cut back.
something
a
you
little
don't
bit,
know,
yeah.
but this quote here that I got from him was 1st of July. Now, I
Okay.
haven't talked,
From
put it back,
USDA?
it's 3 point, the interest rate on this is 3.625 for $1 million for 15 years. Mary came in with 5 years. He didn't say any of that to me.
I think all she did was stated what we have to do if we go on a 5-year payback.
Yeah.
Or more.
She's just cautioning us that
No,
it's
I'm just,
subject to a permissive referendum, that's all.
the point is, just say we borrowed the million for 15 years at 3.625. I don't know if that's the same interest now. I'm
Yeah.
right, number one. And number two, that's roughly $90,000 a year,
Right,
okay? Now.
1 million.
1 million. My thing is, I worry about the budget. To raise $90,000 a year, you roughly have 300 taxpayers.
3,000.
And you multiply, each taxpayer is gonna be paying about,
$75.
a little more than that, but yeah, but that goes, into the regular, that's not even counting the regular.
Yeah, this
So,
is just one increase.
so,
What were those numbers? I'll do the calculator here,
which number do you want?
the per taxpayer.
Well, it's figuring 3,000 taxpayers at $10 a taxpayer is $30,000.
So
This
three
is gonna be
times,
90, so.
3 times.
$100. Nobody likes to have tax increase, but at the same time,
Prices are going up, things are going up. I mean, we can't avoid it.
Well, the school taxes, I don't know if you looked at yours, I looked at mine.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm paying $3,300.
Yeah.
But. It's a lot.
It's hard, it's
but
hard.
not a
yeah.
lot.
I'm not in favor of spending anything, but I'm in favor of trying to spend as little as possible. So playing the devil's advocate, what if we don't do this? 2 years from now, prices are gonna go up. Roads are gonna get worse.
I'll tell you the same
I don't know
thing.
how fast roads deteriorate, but it seems to me, once they start to deteriorate, they go bad faster.
It's freeze thaw, freeze thaw.
The whole thing is, and it all goes back to, and Gene can verify this. We had a quote to put the water system in a number of years ago. At 3 million, was it, Gene? Roughly?
Well, a little less than that, 2.4.
Okay, and now that was the whole town,
No, well, that's just a water system, not the whole town, just,
the
yeah,
water.
The existing water system.
just the existing water. we weren't
right.
adding on.
Okay, now,
Then we cut back, anytime we resubmitted, we cut back certain roads a little bit that.
but now they're saying 3 million is just to do the village.
Yeah.
And that's from 9N. Your side of the road.
That's probably what, half of it.
That's, you got the whole heights, you gotta come all the way up to the store down here, all the way down to the firehouse. Part of East River Drive. And originally that, and we're talking what, 5 years? Maybe 6 years?
A little less than that, I think. Once they get started, but then.
No, I'm saying from the time you got that original bid,
Oh, yeah,
was about 5 or 6 years ago.
and.
And now,
Well, we're out again, it'll come in.
I know
next
we're
April.
trying to get it again, but right now we went from. I'm just saying, in rough figures, 3 million to do the whole town, and now we're looking at 3 million to do 9N. To the bridge. And another 2/3.
Price is probably going up at least 50%.
Yeah,
It's no end in sight.
and that's all happened probably in the last 2 years, as we all know what prices are.
At least, yeah.
All right, so
I think we ought to go ahead with 1.2.
That's where I'm shooting.
I got, now what about the option? Okay, this is our, but like from our dream list, right?
But this way, if we go for the 1-2, okay. Any money that he gets from the state,
Yeah, the chips is we're gonna use it.
Okay. if we're a little bit over, we got roughly 300,000 to play with.
Yeah.
If we don't use it, it will be carried over.
Yes.
And he can use that for Church Street, this street, and maybe hit another big project next year.
Yep.
Do you have any feel, Gene, how fast we could get the USDA money? We asked him that, and I can't remember what he
Yeah,
said.
within a month, type of thing, if you do everything right away.
Yeah.
That was back in.
Is that reimbursement or is that upfront?
No, they'll give it to you.
They'll give it to you.
You get the whole check for $1 million, or whatever you're asking for. And your first payment, you save, because your first payment won't be due until next year.
What are your thoughts on 1.2?
I think it's a fair price. I don't really want to go more than taxing the taxpayers at 100,000 a year.
Yeah.
Well, that,
This will be pushing that.
we're pushing that now.
Well, we can, like I told Ron a month or so ago, Don't worry about it. I'm gonna take it out of your normal budget.
No, the whole thing, you know, we sit here and we talk and hash things out. It's like that. I try to get, I talked to 4 supervisors about that piece of machinery to check for the lead paint.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
to see if I can get 4
That
pounds to go in
Meter,
on it,
gizmo.
you know,
Yeah,
25,000 each or 20,000 each, you know. I haven't gotten really that good a response. But I've been, the last 2 or 3 weeks, I haven't been county meetings at all. I've been so super busy. So I'll see tomorrow. There's a county meeting tomorrow and I'll ask if anyone ever looked at their water department. Because
Right.
that's something we're gonna do too now, we'll dig them up.
I looked into that and
Now,
it's
the only-
possibly that
the
just
only-
because Warrensburg said they're looking at it from inside the house, it's not gonna be kosher.
Yeah, I know, he
Yeah,
said that to
yeah.
me too. He said they're doing it from inside the house with the scraping and the
Right.
magnet, but it's not gonna
Yeah.
be a pipe outside in the ground. This will give you the
So-
whole thing.
Yeah, so.
But you know, the whole point is, one of them said to me, well, what, can't we lease one? And I don't know if we,
I can find out, but I don't think so.
you know, why, what, you know, because if we're gonna do that, and when I try to think logical, not off the top of my head, but we buy it for, let's say, 900,000,
90,000.
90,000. Well, we'll use it for a year, take care of all the lines, and what's it gonna do, sit in the corner?
Lease it out.
Oh, no, it's sell it to another town for.
Well,
Well, that's-
Yeah, we could
They
recoup.
can back on it, but it could be an asset to another town.
Yeah. That's the way I'm looking at
You
it.
lease it and offset
That's what
the
he's
price that way.
Find out by
Right.
talking to the other towns if they have an interest in
Yeah.
it.
What was their feedback, Gene?
I
What
talked to.
have you got so far? Have they said anything?
By any chance, did you talk to Tracy by any chance about this one?
The only one she worked on was that redoing that one water.
Did
grant.
she even look to see if there was any grants out
She's
there? for
supposed to be
paving?
looking, and I send her that stuff, I get it on the computer.
Cause I looked at it today
Locals giving out so much money, it's unbelievable.
and I just looked at it today and there is grant money out there for paving.
There's a lot of grants out there.
All you gotta do is put in New York State. What did I put in? New York State, roads and paving grants.
But you can't, and I'm not.
I'm not
disputing-
saying it's there, you
can't
gotta meet a
guarantee
certain
it. You
criteria.
gotta meet a criteria, your town is assessed in a different way by population and by
Oh, yeah.
wealth. And I'm gonna give you a stupid number, there could be 1,000 people wanting money, and they only have so much in a pot. It's like, when we get it all the time, sorry, I call it no loan, when I get the letter, sorry, you know, we couldn't
Did
fund
you
your
see-
project. So you can't wait a year to wait to see if you're gonna get that
Right.
loan, this is roads. Right now, we're in trouble with roads.
Yes, we
It's
are.
only gonna get worse.
You're tired of hearing phone calls.
I'm starting to send them to Ron.
He don't answer.
I got yelled at this morning, so.
Well, that's no different than, did you
Well,
see
you
the
know-
grants that Hokel gave out for fire departments
Yeah,
on television?
I didn't see that.
Hoosick Falls,
200 and something.
300 and something, 339,000 for training and equipment.
Yeah.
There was 4 companies they listed on television that came up to over $1 million.
That's what they have about, usually each one of those.
I wonder if Luzerne put it in.
They're hard to get. We've got, hey, the best one we ever got was the 400,000 for this building. And that was a tough fight and a tough struggle. So they're not easy out there.
No, I know.
Yeah, she likes, any politician likes say, we're gonna put $200 million out there. But there's a lot,
Reality kicks in.
a lot that goes behind them. And mostly, I'm gonna tell you, you guys know how I got that loan. I mean, I finally
Getting
freedom
off
of
track.
information why we didn't get it. And when it came in, 93% of the people that were Democratic mayors and Democratic supervisors got the money.
Yep.
That's where it all.
And I went right down there and pitched and moaned to her. I said, I got Democrats in my town. You're hurting me.
Yep.
And somehow I got the money.
Yep.
But you can't just fill out a grant and not,
No, I know.
you gotta pound it.
I will say,
Because I'm gonna say one more thing, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, I'm worried about one thing, we don't get this done, and then the 15th of November, they close the plants down because it gets too cold.
We're gonna carry the money to next year. That's what I stated.
Mhm.
So we gotta make sure we have a little extra in there for price increasing.
They usually go to Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Right, roughly, yeah.
Let's go ahead.
I
One
will,
point two,
I will say that
It's only
Thomas Road. I'm gonna binder that this year,
which one, Thomas?
Thomas Road, cause it. If I
If not, you're
don't,
gonna lose it.
I need it. And I'm hoping I got a little bit extra that I can go up on Howe Road and
Catch some of the big holes.
yes. Okay, just so you know.
I say we go with the 1.2. I know we can't make a total decision.
Well, I think the next step is to tell Mary to go ahead. Do you think that's right, Lori?
And Gene,
The next step would be
I
to
guess the next
tell
thing
Mary to go ahead
in your part,
with this paper.
check with the US and find out
I spoke tomorrow morning.
Yeah, if the rates are still the same.
Now, Ron, no, I said I wouldn't ask, but these people committed to do this job, these quotes, they will do it this year?
They says
Oh,
rate
yeah, if we
report.
can get the money quick enough, they can, yes, this year. I had Peckham's just this morning call me and ask me. Hey, how's it going? You know, cause I'm trying to do my schedule and it's filling up. I'm like,
Well, you have any, I know we gotta go with the lowest bidder, but do you have any difference in that 50 grand? there?
I like. Plenty just because I like their blacktop.
Letty, okay, so that's the reason, I
Alright.
like that, yeah.
Anyone get?
I just like the quality of it.
They were the lower bidder, right?
No,
Yes,
Yes.
they are, yes,
$54,000 cheaper.
yeah.
So that's, if you consider them more qualified than the other one, that's a no brainer.
I think they're both good qualified.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that our trucks going to Pletty is a lot easier than going to Peckham's because you gotta go through either all the way down Quaker Road. Or you gotta go down 149.
Well,
It's
you
just
know,
so much easier going to Saratoga.
you know which one's easier one.
It's
to
like two
use,
turns.
So I
So-
trust your opinion. If you know what,
Yeah.
you got a goal, you know who to use, and I say, go with who
Yeah.
you decide.
Yeah.
What's
so
gonna work
I
best for
agree.
us. I trust you on that.
So there's our 54, there's
We
our fudge factor.
have to get 3 bids, don't we?
Not on these kind of contracts, and plus, isn't
Just county, what do you call it?
counties on, we have
Okay.
counties on this, right?
What do you call that?
Counties, Paletti's on the
Contract.
county contract.
Plenty would go off Warren County contract. Peckham's is on Warren County contract.
That covers you.
Yeah.
So Jim, the answer to your question, I would talk to Mary about that when she
Okay.
gets here. Because I'm not sure if you have to pass the resolution first that you want to do it. I'm not sure what that
Okay.
process is. To have
And that we should do during our regular meeting.
Tonight,
We can do that tonight if she
in
comes.
half an hour.
we should get the resolution passed, then we can see how long it takes for the loan first,
Okay.
and how long before.
Yeah, you have to ask her how. that
I-
goes.
I've had them say they could do Howe Road this year.
Oh,
If we can get the money quick enough.
Weather holds
I mean,
out.
if we're guaranteed the money and if there's money in there, we could just do it and then replenish it. Too. So,
Okay. Oh, we're waiting for Mary for this.
Okay.
What you s-
Yeah, well, Mary's gotta give us the answers, because I don't.
Yeah, I don't
understand-
know the process.
I don't,
is everybody
I'm
happy
just
though
going
at
by the
1.2?
specific-
1.2 sounds good. Ron's comfortable with that. You guys, I'm good with it.
Gene, you're good, you're
Okay.
good, I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay,
I don't want to make you have to redo anything. Where was the? Sorry,
No, go ahead, go ahead. Yes.
no, ask.
okay,
We zeroed in on borrowing 1.2.
okay. And we have the 800 for you.
He's got new stuff.
at the bottom, Annie, I added roads that I'd like to
Okay,
include too.
Which he had. In
The
his
original
list
thing were these
3
two
months ago
quotes
originally
that you got.
anyways.
Over the weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, since then, we went back and got his other list that included these roads and these roads at that price. So we're taking that price.
Okay.
And this price, add the two together. Okay,
Yeah.
threw a fudge factor in there and came up at 1.2.
okay,
Here's the fudge. The fudge on this number is 50 grand for the work that he.
Are we done with this meeting, sir?
If you have,
Yeah.
We're
if
still-
Paving day.
you have nothing else to come up with.
Okay.
Yeah, and then.
Cause I'm gonna get up and walk around for a second.
Go ahead.
Before the long meeting starts.
We're not gonna do both of them.
Okay,
This,
He had all these.
right, right.
Months ago.
Mhm.
So now they got-
Well, everything's got
I
a shelf
saw,
life.
I
on it.
was here for
Prices.
that meeting, but I
That's
didn't see
problem.
them. I
It's not like it used to.
Everything's still,
Okay.
yeah. The chips.
You got 2 new tires for the.
but if
Okay.
you had-
Tires are shocked by the price of tires.
Okay. So-
Thousands where we can get to it.
Where did you get quotes from banks or?
No, I just
No,
went
we
to
don't use the
USDA,
banks.
That's
They're
a-
low
that's
down.
federal loan thing.
The federal loan.
Get bids.
They're low down.
In July, you can see her presentation to Gene and it was 3.625,
3.625, but I won't know until tomorrow morning. It could
Right.
be 7 right now.
Right,
Why,
okay.
what's your bank getting?
No, I'm not at a bank anymore.
Oh, you're not?
No, I'm with the county.
Oh, gee, that's bad.
You're not adjourned.
All right,
You know who's doing the CDs is TD Bank.
yeah,
We're not adjourned.
I don't like to hear that, but yeah, I know. It's good, it's good. I go
He
by,
wants to walk around. Go ahead. he
Yeah.
said, We're not gonna do.
All right, stay there for a second. I make a motion, we adjourn this meeting.
Oh, okay. I second it.
All in favor?
hi,
You can go walk.
It's having a tough time.
Yeah, it's, you know, TD Bank is the best, and when
Yes.
you convinced me to go to TD Bank, remember back
Yeah.
15, 16 years ago?
it was closer to 20,
I
Gene.
just like, I just like them.
That's where I got my mortgage.
And especially now, they're doing it for 1 month, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9. You're on.
Yeah.
Paul. Paul. Okay, Chris. Welcome, everybody, to the town board meeting, September 11th. Before we rise to salute the flag, I'd like to have a moment of silence for 9/11, which happened today. Thank you all. Okay, please rise and salute the flag.
Gene,
Yeah.
can you hold 1 second? I'd like to have a moment of silence for a past councilman. Mr. Harold
I
Hayes
love it.
left us this past Friday. There will be a memorial service this coming Saturday down at his barn. The people that know him and would like to participate are more than welcome. And he served the town well. Silence for him also. Thank you very much. Gene?
All right, please rise and salute the flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilwoman McMahon,
Present.
Councilman Hanlon,
Here.
Councilman Lewandowski,
Here.
Councilman Niles.
Here.
Supervisor Molino.
Here. Okay, we're gonna open with Pam Pettis from the Chamber of Commerce to give us a report on our park project that we did this year and the music in the park.
Good evening, everyone. I gave you a report. Sam did a PowerPoint presentation for everybody, and then they did a survey that I gave you all of the comments that they received. This was unbelievable, this concert. And the food truck, we were hoping for 200 people and the food trucks would make money. And we ended up at the very end with over 700 people at the last concert. So we've heard nothing but rave reviews. I thank Supervisor Merlino and the building and grounds crew so much for all their hard work that they helped us do. And all the volunteers that we had. Sam got volunteers, which was great. And as always, my family for putting up with me being gone so much. And helping me out when I need it. So as you see, I gave you the final report. I gave you a new one tonight because I got the Chronicle ads, $165, that bill. So I put in there. We ended up spending $13,889.35. A little more than the 12,000, but we made up some of it with the shirt sales. I think we only have maybe 3 shirts left. That's it. We gave a couple of them away as VIP shirts. And I mean, we did awesome. We want to do it again next year. We're gonna have more food trucks because that is one thing people said, and I totally agree. We need more food trucks. You know, looking at some other bands and whatnot. So, does anybody have any questions for me? Comments?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I noticed that you guys did a fantastic job. There's no doubt about it.
Thank you.
We gotta do a little more planning ahead of time, maybe. You didn't think it was gonna pull up as big as it did.
No, we didn't.
Okay.
And that, you know, we had planned for certain things like, you know, we had asked for extra garbage cans and whatnot. And we knew that we were gonna need them. And I must say, like Supervisor Molino said, that really there was no messes, correct?
I'll tell you, it was the cleanest park that we ever saw when everybody left. I have to really say it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not even a tissue or a cup on the ground. They all put them in them bags, so it worked out good. It
Yeah.
helped picking it up later on.
I'm hoping next year that we can talk Mr. Marino into redirecting the traffic like we used to do when we had the dances down in town.
it would be nice to do that if
and
we
send
could do it.
right down along the school, back and back out to 9N,
Mhm.
block those roads right off. And that way we don't have to worry about, that will be parking for people that are having problems, restricted parking situations. We don't have to worry about people crossing the roads. And now some of the food trucks can actually go on 9N during that period of time.
Yeah,
That's my suggestion.
Just do it for the fall festival, so.
Same thing.
Yep.
Block it off.
yeah.
They
Yeah,
block
that
the
would be
church
nice to
off.
do that. Yeah. It really would. I mean, if it is possible. You know, we didn't have a meeting at the end to go over everything and, you know, thanked everybody for their help. I mean, it was very good that Sam found all these people, the volunteers in the community to help us. They've done a great job. You know, helping us out. And, you know, the businesses that donated some things, you know, we had a nice person that did that for us. So, I mean, next year we're gonna get more prizes and whatnot. But we didn't figure it was gonna be so big, so
Let's make it bigger.
we're scared.
Hey, Gene, could I talk a few minutes? All right, I'm on the,
Sam's on there.
yeah. Is that possible?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, I want to share a screen. Can I do that? Can anybody see the Zoom screen if I do that? I talked to Chris about doing this, so, okay, we'll see what this works, if this, hi, Sam Zappas. Can you see the screen if I share it? No. Chris, can you help me and just undisable my screen sharing?
You're good to go, Sam.
All right, great. Okay. So I know Pam and Jean probably gave you all this information ahead of schedule, but I just wanted to let you know that when I came up with this idea and approached Pam and Jean last summer, I really wanted to come up with an idea that made sort of created an opportunity for the town to come together, have some fun, get together, and maybe even raise some money for local institutions that needed it. So I was really happy that we could raise $1,887 for the high school scholarships and for the food pantry. And I want to basically focus your attention on all the volunteer hours that we put into this event. I know you saw 6 Wednesdays that pretty much came off without a hitch, but the work started last summer in August, and we put in over 500 hours as a team of volunteer hours to get the sort of events created, have a system that basically went pretty smoothly in terms of identifying the food trucks, getting the bands, promoting it on social media. We ended up hiring a social media coordinator. I interviewed several people from State University at Albany and hired one with Pam, hired one assistant that basically created our social media accounts and promoted what we were doing. And I think that was the key to our success. One of the keys to our success. We got a lot of traction on social media. We also were able to spend some money on the Chronicle, which I think helped a lot, and got the support of local businesses. One of the ideas around the extravaganza, the food trucks and music, was obviously to get more food for Lake Luzerne, because as everybody knows, it would be nice to get some more restaurants in town. So the hope was we create a groundswell around the extravaganza, and hopefully a restaurateur would see that there's demand for, food in our town and consider setting up shop in our town. So basically, you can see here we had 2,800 attendees. When Pam and I and Jean sat down on the first Wednesday of July, I didn't know what to expect. We put a lot of work in. We wrote public press releases. We got the word out through the community, and we're just hoping that people showed up. So we're pretty excited to see that 425 people showed up on the first Wednesday, and we grew that week over week over week to, like Pam said, we actually had 700 people show up for Johnny Cash review band that we had on August 16th. And what's also important is supporting the local businesses. We wanted to make sure that the people that coming to the extravaganza would spend time and their money at local businesses. So we tracked that, and I'll tell you a little bit about what we learned. We put together a survey. Can you see this? My next slide here. Basically, I designed a food trucks and music logo in the fall, create those two accounts. And then you can see here, we advertise in the Chronicle. And then we got a lot of media coverage from the press release that I wrote and distributed. You can see here, the Adirondack Almanac covered us. ABC Television covered us, and New York Music, which is the #1 site that tracks music, live music across the state of New York. So we got a lot of coverage from that website and the owner, Pete. And we also got Glens Falls Business Journal to write a piece about us. And I think it's really nice to get into Simply Saratoga magazine. So I don't know how many of you saw that article, but I think it really helped get us more exposure to people who are coming to Saratoga or living in Saratoga about our town and all the great events and sort of amenities in our town. And then something we hadn't expected, but that logo seemed to sort of capture people's imagination, the logo I put together. And people said, why don't you put that on a hat or a t-shirt? So Pam and I got together and we basically manufactured t-shirts sometime late July, and we almost sold out of these t-shirts in three days. That's an unintended consequence. And so what we wanted to do, we had so much fun with this event. We wanted to measure like what happened. So we put together a survey, an online survey, and we published it on Facebook. And we had 265 respondents. And I just wanted to give you sort of a flavor of what we learned about people who attended these 6 Wednesday events. We had majority of the people came from, like, as you would expect, Lake Luzerne, Hadley, Corinth, and Saratoga. But what was interesting is 90%, according to, again, this is not a scientific survey, it's just 265 people attended, telling us where they're from. But 90% seemed to respond that they were from New York State. We had representation for 13 states, as far west as Texas. 53% of the people who responded to this survey came from Lake Luzerne. And what was interesting is that we found out 12% of people came to the extravaganza over those 6 weeks who weren't from Lake Luzerne, were coming to Lake Luzerne for the first time. So that was pretty exciting to learn. is to be able to come up with an event that exposes the town to new traffic, people learning about the town. And I can tell you there are a lot of people I talked to who didn't know about Lake Luzerne and were just amazed at how beautiful the town was, and that they pledged to come back. And then basically, we also wanted to learn about what people were doing the day of the extravaganza. Where were they going? Where they're spending their money? And what we learned from that survey was people were either before or after the extravaganza spending their money at Stewart's, Bonds, and Lake Luzerne Market. Those are the three businesses that they frequented and spent money at. There were other I guess Cumberland Farms was one. We had the Hitchin Post was another. Harris's was another. There's about 7 or 10 businesses that people were frequenting. And then we had a section where 265 people were in the survey. 155 people actually commented. And I don't know, I guess Pam distributed the 265 comment or 155 comments, but I was struck by how overwhelmingly positive people felt about attending the events. And I put a few here for your information. What I thought, the one that I really sort of got me excited was the last paragraph here. Hope you have them every summer. This was the most lively time I've ever seen in Lake Luzerne. I've lived here all my life. I'm in my 80s. So basically, the goal was have a good time, eat some good food, raise money for deserving projects, institutions in town, and then maybe lay some pipe for economic development, including a new restaurant in town. And I think, we're on our way. I think we, haven't gotten there yet, but it's a good first step. So thanks for your attention. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sam,
Yeah.
you missed,
What did I say?
you missed one that came the furthest and they went out of their way to come to Lake Luzerne. And that was.
Oh, yeah.
That came from Luzerne,
Luzerne,
Switzerland.
Switzerland. Yeah, I went up to these folks. They came early. We start pretty much setting up at 4 p.m. on a Wednesday, and this family was at a picnic table on the lake side of the pavilion. And I went up to them. I said, "Hey, you come here early. You must be excited about the extravaganza." And they said, "Yeah, what's going on here? We don't know what's going on." I said, "Why don't you know what's going on?" They said, "Well, we're here on a trip from Switzerland. We wanted very much to see what our Lake Luzerne, New York was like, because we live in Lake Luzerne, Switzerland." And they hit it right, because they came on a day when we had music and food. And so they were very happy. I basically reached out to them on WhatsApp, which is a social media app, communication app, and gave them a couple of tips about where to go in the area. They ended up going to the racetrack the next day. They'd never been to a racetrack, and they went to Saratoga Racetrack and bet on horses on a Thursday after our extravaganza.
All right, thank you, Sam.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Just one more
Yeah.
thing. I want to just get down. Do we have your support for next year and have some bed tax money to help with this?
Of course.
Okay. Thank you. Don't know how much we're gonna need. I'll get back to you on that, but we have to start scheduling a lot of these food trucks and whatnot. So,
Bands too.
yeah, we have to get on that stuff. So I just want to make sure we have your support. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam,
Thanks.
for all your help. I think the next person is Jean Cieslik on our youth program.
Hello, Jean Cieslik, Hadley Youth Director. I am here to report on our summer events. Our summer program ran for 6 weeks, and we had 110 total participants. 39 were from Hadley, 57 were from Lake Luzerne. 5 were from Stony Creek, 7 from Day, and 2 were from out of school district. Some of the events that we had this year, we added a field trip. Last year, we just did Tuesdays and Thursdays. This year, we added a field trip on Wednesdays. And we had a hike with Elaine Winslow. We had 40 participants in that. We went to the Netto Meadow Goat Farm and to the hitching post. And the kids got to go around the farm, and then they got to do a cheese tasting, which was really great. We had 79% participants in that. We went to Adirondack Adventure, and we had 58 participants for that. Rev Rail, we had 56, and Bonds ice cream lunch with a little mini golf, we had 60 participants in that. We had over an average of 50 kids every day. And I have to say that, you know, it was pretty good. I didn't get many complaints, but at the end of the program, I did ask parents to do a survey and got great feedback, great constructive criticism. I'm looking forward to doing it again and keeping the field trips in local community businesses. I know Dane's right here, and he was wonderful. His whole entire crew was fabulous, and Bonds was absolutely amazing. So those are 2 Lake Luzerne businesses that we highly recommend that everyone goes to, and hopefully the kids took their families there afterwards so they could get more business. But I appreciate all your support and help, and I am doing the budget again. So once I submit it to my town, I will let you guys know. Unfortunately, the minimum wage will be going up, so we will be needing more money. So just to give you a heads up on that. And I guess any questions or concerns?
Did the arrangement between the towns and everything work okay?
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't heard anything, so.
no,
No
That's-
news is good news.
Yeah.
no news is good news. Exactly. I didn't get any, you know, negative. Actually, the Luzerne parents were very pleased, and we did probably add about 20 to 25 kids from Luzerne from last year.
Great,
So
great.
that's great.
Thank you for your help.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
you so
you.
much, Dean.
Sorry, one more thing. I just want to let you know that Sonia helped me set up everything beforehand, and she was a great contributor to my sounding board.
Yeah, no, she came here and got us going. You didn't hear what I said, but Sonia came here and got us going to join in, worked out well. Anything else to comment from the board? Fred? Make it short, because we're not,
2 minutes? No, don't start.
you never talk for 2 minutes.
As far as your concert goes, I agree with everything Pam said. I think Jean, Pam, Stanley in traffic, Chris in traffic, Sam, whoever that guy is, I'm the speaker, don't know him. These girls in the office, I think did paperwork, they should be rewarded. And one other person I think that you're forgetting, and that is Sue Wilder and her husband putting on the car shows that same night in this town parking lot. Along with that, Ice Cream Man across the street is helping with some of this, so let's not forget Sue Wilder and her husband, which should be honored also as these volunteers that did their work. It was great. It brought life to Luzerne on a Wednesday. Tuesday, you're dead, Thursday, you're dead, but Wednesday, the town of Luzerne was alive. That's all I can tell you. But there was more to it than just Lake Luzerne music. There was car shows, ice cream. Those people were also part of it.
You had the rodeo going on. See the
That I don't
rodeo
know.
going full bore. You had the car show going. You had, there was a lot going on
So,
Wednesday
I
nights.
mean,
Yep.
those people, all of them,
Yeah.
contributed to what was going on. There was people that came from Screw and Way just to come down to have their ice cream and go to the car show. I agree with Paul. Some of the cars make a lot of noise going through town when the concert's going on.
Perfect.
They should be redirected or readdressed as far as respect goes. But we were all kids at one time, so how much respect
Adds a little flavor to it, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're always a speed man. You
I
like
was-
that. I know you.
Right there myself.
Yes, you were.
Thank you, Fred.
Thank you, Freddie.
Thank you. Okay, Lori, you want to start
We
any
have to open the floor.
questions? I'm open the town to any questions on our agenda for resolutions. Yes, ma'am. Come up here.
My name's Laura LaPlanche. I'm a Luzerne resident. I was just wondering, we had brought it up at a PTSA meeting last year. It didn't get brought up today. But, the school speed limit for the elementary school, there still isn't a speed limit for a school zone. And at pickup and stuff, there are people flying down that road. So I was wondering, I was told to bring it to you guys. To talk to you about somehow getting that moved along, because I guess it was brought to your attention last school year as well.
Is that
The-
Highland?
Highland Drive there.
Oh, in Highland Drive, okay, not on 9.
Because we have it on 9, but
Yeah.
we don't have a school zone in the elementary, and there are walkers, and the school line has doubled, maybe even tripled this year for pickups and stuff, and there's people flying down it. When it is pickup time, it's like a one-way road almost, and it's an accident waiting to happen.
I think what she's talking about basically is from 9N down Highland Drive to
Yeah.
the stop sign, down Homer Drive.
Yeah, because we go to the circle at the very end of the school.
Yeah,
So I
down
was
the
just
baseball field.
Yeah, yeah.
Rec
The
field.
road, the line goes almost all the way back
Right.
now, all the way down to the circle, but I was just told to bring it here one more time since it was brought here last year and there still isn't a school zone.
Did we mention about a state has to do a performance study on it?
Yeah, they have to do a study before.
They have to do the study. The state has to take care of that.
Okay. I was just.
Is there anything we
Try
can
to
do
get on them, but the school is responsible for the blinking light. I don't know why they don't have one down there. They're just putting in new ones up here,
Yeah, there's nothing
but
on,
there's nothing on that.
yeah, no, and they said to bring it back here. Cause they said they brought it here last year and to bring it back here again this year.
We'll try better next year.
Oh,
See what-
yeah. Okay, I just wanted to bring it back.
We'll throw in
Okay.
Ron's hand. We'll put
Do
some
we gotta,
signs
do
up.
we gotta initiate anything with the state for that study, or is anything we can initiate?
And we have to, well, we have to call the county road department first.
But I think now this is the 3rd year of us trying to,
I-
do something.
I don't know.
I remember it coming up. It was kind of, yeah.
Kevin Pedro's to call and have him maybe come down and me and you and him can go take a ride out and
Yeah.
Take a look at it.
take a look.
I mean, it's rare that cars go down, but when they do, they don't even follow the speed limit that's already there.
Well,
So, and with our kids wandering around and stuff, at least,
What is the speed limit there?
I
40,
think it's 30.
Probably is one.
a number of years ago, when I was living up in that area, somebody changed the signs down there to a slower speed, but it wasn't done correctly,
Hmm.
okay? And the signs had to be removed and put back to the normal speed limit.
Without the
Okay.
study, the state didn't do.
All right, we'll look into it, but speed limits are not our job.
Okay, yeah, I was just told to come
Yeah, I know, but
voice it again.
we have them
We
every once in
appreciate
a
it.
while and it takes a year. And then finally they come back and speed limit's fine. I don't think we've ever had one change. Maybe a little on East River Drive, but that's all.
Not much of
I
it.
live on Easter Drive, not much on Easter Drive. I got people flying past my house.
Rose Avenue got changed after 5
Yeah,
years.
Rose Avenue got changed.
It's just taking a little, so maybe if you guys help push it a little more, I guess. Like I said, it's like 3 years now
Try for
of
it.
trying.
All right,
Yeah.
thanks.
Thank you.
Supervisor, Can I make a comment?
Yes,
To do a speed study, you would have to pass a resolution and then have to submit that to the county and then we submit it to the state. So it's a process.
no,
Put it on the thing.
Yeah,
Is
put it
it
on-
a
put
speed
it down.
study or is the school zone?
Right, I don't know.
Well, we'll look at it. Yeah, we'll
Can we
start the ball rolling. I guess we get to that.
do a motion right now?
let's wait.
Yeah,
Okay.
Because
Thank you, Mary.
the problem too happened, we got them to put the sign out on 9N, those yellow signs, but they wouldn't stripe the road. No. All right. All right, would you read the resolutions, please?
Gene, Chris has got his hand up.
Matt Palace, Chairman of the Zoning Board of Appeals, has his hand up.
Okay, go ahead.
Second.
First of all, I would like to thank Councilman Lewandowski for acknowledging the death of my next door neighbor, Harold Hayes. who has been a major individual in this town for over 50 years. And thank you. My question is on the agenda for this evening. There is a possible resolution to appoint an alternate to the Zoning Board of Appeals. I would like to ask who the candidates are and what are their qualifications.
All right. He's looking for the candidate.
Is it, I thought it was a resolution to do an alternate, an
Alternate.
additional alternate to the planning.
That's all it is.
That's all it is.
The applications are still being accepted online.
There's
for-
both.
Okay, so on my copy of the agenda for this evening, there is an line item for possible appointment of an alternate to the Zoning Board of Appeals.
This is the first that I've heard of it. And they have not done any interviews yet, and we're still accepting applications, so they can't appoint anyone until we put a deadline of September 15th on the website for taking letters of interest.
Okay, so if that is the situation, then I have no issue.
Yeah, that was put on the agenda, Matt, just in case we were ready to work on it.
That's what I thought.
So we're not gonna do those.
Well, the planning board one we just wanted a motion, getting ahead of ourselves here, but I asked for a resolution to appoint a second alternate to the planning board. But we weren't doing.
We don't
anything
have
with
the
zoning
applicant
board.
yet, but we're
Right,
opening
it
the
was to
space.
Open the position
Right.
for it.
That was.
Okay, Matt?
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're not appointing anybody, but we're opening the space and we'll
On
hope
the
to fill
planning
it the next meeting. If
So
we
do
get,
I.
Thank you, Matt.
all right, any other questions out there?
Let's go.
Nobody? Chris? Okay. All right, Laura, you want to start?
Resolution to pay the bills of the ninth abstract as follows. General fund vouchers 2206 to 2247, 76,849.32. Highway fund vouchers 2248 to 2259, 67,368.14. SW1 Water District vouchers 2260 to 2269, 15,033.66. SW2 District vouchers 2271 to 2270 to 2271, 24,447.42.
Make a motion.
Second
Second.
it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. Resolution to accept minutes of June 12th and July 10th.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. A resolution to renew the Humana retiree policy.
Make a motion.
We'll have a copy. Yep.
I'll second it.
Discussion? Which one we going with?
The Humana one,
You man,
the next $20 roughly.
This is for the retiree policy.
just retired.
Okay.
Yeah, it's-
Any more discussion?
Oh, got my answer.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. Resolution to apply for the USDA loan for paving and possible help with the water billing software and equipment upgrades.
I'll make the motion.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
The only thing, give the, we'll make the motion, hope and pass it, but we can't, this is 2 months old and what we have as the report of the interest rate. So
Billing
I'll
software.
have to check it tomorrow.
I,
and the water billing software is not part of it, right?
Not part of it.
No, that's
Okay,
not
take
part.
that out.
That's what, yeah, that's what I was concerned.
I'd like, yeah,
Annie, would
Okay.
you be willing to amend your motion?
I will. I'll amend it without that water portion.
I'll second.
To eliminate the water billing software and upgrade equipment, right?
Yep,
I'll second that amended motion.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. Resolution to appoint a second alternate to the planning board
Make a
to
motion.
create the second alternate position.
I thought we
actually.
already did that.
No, that was for the
We
zone.
talked about it in the agenda meeting, but
Yes.
we didn't
Okay.
do the,
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. Okay, so we're not gonna do the appointment to the ZBA. Mary, the resolution to set a public hearing on the amendment to the town ordinance. Are we good with that?
I mean, that's up to the town board. I sent the amendments. I sent all the documents you need. It's up to one of you. to
Yeah.
make the motion.
I make a motion.
And it will be, so Tim, Councilman Hanlon, for the October meeting. Okay, so our meeting falls on a holiday in October, so that would be the 9th.
That would be the 9th. You gotta have to go,
To the 10th. Or,
what is it, the 16th is the third
Or you
The
could-
next day,
Tuesday?
Tuesday, all right, so down,
Sure.
okay, we can make it Tuesday, that's good for
Tuesday,
you,
October 10th. Is that
So that'll be a public hearing and our meeting.
at 7 PM? Okay.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You gave it to me. Hearing none carried. Possible, resolution to advertise for a part-time water purification operator.
I make a motion. At the same time, I want to set a salary.
I'll second it.
All right, and so everybody knows the reason why we had a couple of employees doing it. And Ron sent us a note at the end of September, at the end of August, that they're not gonna do it anymore. Had a meeting with the two of them and Ron and Mr. Niles was there, trying to see what was the problem and why. And we kind of hashed out a few things. Mr. Ellis doesn't want to do it at all. And I'm thankful for Logan that said if in emergency till we get somebody, he will be like standing by and he'll do the best he can to help us out. But we have to get this moving. As far as the salary, I just don't know yet of what it is. This just came up, so we'll have to figure out amongst us. I think they were getting, don't hold me to it, $34 an hour to do it.
But that was basically weekends and training.
We,
Yeah,
training, never got a lot of training in on it.
but we're looking for a person that's gonna put in 20 hours a week to start.
Pick up a number, yeah.
Are we looking for somebody that's already certified?
Yeah, it has to be certified. We're not training.
So
them.
we don't have to train them.
No,
Okay, that changes things, and we gotta figure out a rate.
so,
Yeah,
you know,
we're looking for somebody that's already qualified.
right, we don't have time to train.
Should we wait until we figure all that out before I mean.
Oh, we can take,
Well, I think we ought to run an ad and see what shakes out.
Right.
okay,
I don't know if we'll find anybody, but we won't find anybody. if they don't talk.
No, exactly. Okay.
take it out there, let's go.
So all we're asking to commit to at this point is to run an ad.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll change my motion
Okay,
to run the ad.
okay.
I'll second, I would suggest that Jeff be involved in,
When I talked to him,
Writing
he's been asking around, he can't,
no, I would suggest that Jeff be involved in
Writing
writing
up.
the scope of the ad.
that's what I asked him
You
to
know,
do, but he
what
only
the
sent me a
job
short letter.
responsibilities are.
Yeah,
Good
he
idea,
only
Ken.
sent me a short letter.
There's nobody
today.
here on the board, no, John.
I know. You gotta get some, yeah, I think it's a good idea to get him in on it. I mean,
Mhm.
pronto.
Especially if you're looking for somebody that's already certified.
Yeah,
Yes.
So this,
I'm hoping to find somebody that can be shared with another town. That's what I'm hoping.
so this is just to advertise for.
Yep.
just
Yeah.
advertise.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. And we're at
Training, what, 2,000 hours of training?
It
Involved.
depends.
A year.
A year, I
A
mean,
year.
there was a lot of training involved in that, more than I thought.
So if you go by a
1,000
year,
hours.
at 40 hours a week,
Yeah,
you got 1,206 hours a year.
It's a lot of homework. Let's see how we do.
I'm gonna talk about that.
Like you said, maybe we'll fix. some
Laura, you
holes.
done, Laura?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm.
Councilman McMahon, you got anything to report?
I do.
Councilwoman?
The ethics board, we're down to 3 members. And from 6. So if we can advertise to look for some members for the ethics board. It's an annual meeting. Normally in August. Patricia was willing to take over the chairman position. But she was also the secretary, and Roberta's not sure she wants to do that. But I was the chair and I had to come off the chair, but I can still maintain on the board since we do need a board member also present on there. I'm willing to do that. If you still want that,
so ideally, we should try to find 3 people.
but yeah, if we can.
You want to put an ad in? Is that what you're requesting?
I would like that, or at least on the site, on the Lake Luzerne site,
Yeah.
looking for members for the
Yeah,
ethics board.
Social media
Yeah.
stuff.
Are there any, are there any guidelines as to, or any, can anyone be on the ethics board, or can like not an employee of the town be on the board? Who can be and who cannot be on the board?
An elected official cannot be chair of the board.
And that's the only rule?
That was, as far as I'm aware
Is
of.
it something that you could write up?
Has to be a way
Oh,
Lake Luzerne residents.
Is it something you guys can write up and get it to us so we can get it on social media?
I'll work with you on that. Yes.
Yeah, because we have one.
How's that sound, guys? Ladies? Let them write it up and put it on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Send it to me and I'll forward it.
Thank you.
We'll get it on our website. We'll be up
Okay.
the next day once you get it to us.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
All right, Councilman Hanlon,
Nothing to report this time.
Councilman Lewandowski.
I think we gotta finish up with the upcoming insurance. That's gotta be taken care of.
You all have the paperwork. Anybody has any ideas? I think we have to stick with the one we have now because we found out that they can't take care of the spouse when
Over
retired,
3 years apart.
so. We have
But
to
any
stick
one of the
MVP, we have to stick
MVP.
with that.
Right, any one of the MVPs will cover that. We can't go to CHPA or whatever that is, or one of those, because they won't carry the full-time retirees. Or if they're within more than 3 years apart in age,
Yeah,
so.
I think
But we've got a couple policies to look there.
Yeah, well, you got one.
You got the one at 15% increase, you got the one at 2.6, and I can't remember what the other one is, all on increases.
Well, I asked the lawyer to look at it again, so give us some ideas.
Paul.
I think Paul
Agent,
came up
they
with some.
wanted. an
I
answer
came up
against
with
it.
a quick synopsis at the increase of, instead of the 15% increase, which the public ought to know, it is not set by the insurance companies, it's set by the state of New York. We got bids from 2 other companies, and the bids on the actual thing were identically the same, because New York State sets the scale. Okay, so it all comes down to what company you want to work with. The plans are different in regards to co-insuring, which we've been into now, deductibles and things like that, and this is where the variation comes in.
That's what the decision's gotta be made. You're either gonna leave the co-pays as is, or. go with the
Basically,
one
you're
with
talking a
the
difference
higher
of
one.
$54,000.
Yeah.
if we increase the co-pays by approximately $10 on each one of the co-pays, that takes us from approximately a $54,000 saving by changing the co-pays by $10, and we pay the co-pays right now up to the
Well, we pay the
deductible,
Yeah.
excuse me, we pay the deductibles on the co-insurance situation, and after the deductibles are set, yes. Doctor's visit instead of $10 is going up to 20, I believe.
20.
The next one's going up $10 more, and the last one's $10 more. So the most is $60 on a copay, unless you go out of
A network.
and that's up to your problem.
Does it have to be all or nothing? Does everyone have to just have one choice of
Yeah.
insurance?
Yeah, we've tried talking over the years with other towns to join. Because it's based also, and they're looking, they want to get at least, what was it, 100 people minimum? And this town here, and that town over there can't get together because each one of the contracts they have for their employees are set up,
Yeah, it's all,
don't match.
it's all mixed match.
And, who's gonna change that whole rigmarole around? None of the towns want to do that.
Major realignment, yeah.
Right.
Major realignment.
The retirees are a separate carrier. Though. That's the one we already talked about.
Right.
Yeah, but if we go to CH, they won't even cover the retirees.
Just,
So we staying with,
just an employee, not the spouse.
MPV.
And that's, we came to the conclusion we came to is what we had. Was,
Yeah.
there's nothing that's gonna beat it.
No,
I mean, you did the numbers and we looked it over and
Especially with us doing that HRA part of it.
yeah,
Right.
instead of going with the silver plan. At 805 for individuals. We go to the gold plan, and that's 706 per person. Okay, yes, your deductibles are different, but when you figure it all out, you got $61,920.60 difference. Increasing co-pays and deductibles, yes, of $36,000, giving us a savings of $25,927.60. That's how it comes out.
strong work, Paul.
So I'm suggesting myself personally that we go with the MVP Gold. We should be able to save some money and go that way because our deductibles, and we're picking up the deductibles anyways.
So the only change would be a slight increase in co-pays.
Copay, that's all there is.
Do you recall, didn't both agents tell us they needed an answer by the end of September?
They were looking for the end of September, yes.
But we got it, that's their
That's
early.
So we don't necessarily.
Last
have-
year, we did it in the last month of November.
Yeah,
So they-
and it was a cluster.
It's just the idea of what they wanted, because if we're gonna change policies, there's a lot of paperwork. If we stay with the same one, we got a little bit more.
But we should plan on making a decision at our next regular meeting.
Hmm.
Because that's.
But that'd be-
That's good.
Yeah.
That's gonna be into October
Yeah,
5th.
you might have to do it at the agenda, yeah.
Yeah, that could do- yeah.
Our renewal is December 1st.
December 1st is the renewal, so we gotta be in sometime in October.
Yeah.
The only other thing too is we only have all the employees pay about 5% for the insurance.
I not even figure that in.
A lot of towns have been raising that up. I've been talking to some of the supervisors.
Tallahassee pays 20%, the employees are.
Our Zoom audience members are having a hard time hearing. Could we speak into the microphones?
Okay,
Thank you.
sorry. All right, so we're gonna stick with MVP.
Yes.
All right, I think they got off to a rough start with a few of us.
For the HRA part,
Yeah.
The HRA, yeah.
but that got cleaned up
We got.
after 2 or 3 months.
But this is the MVP Gold.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a 2.6 increase in the total expenses
Okay.
You're
instead of
suggesting-
15%.
You're suggesting, Paul, that we go from MVP silver to MVP gold?
Yes,
MVP
that's my
silver is what we
suggestion.
have now.
we have silver now.
That was the best, we looked at it, it was the best.
Yeah.
Guess I'm gonna stay.
Went back and forth and back and forth with it.
Uh,
Silver's better than gold.
I always thought platinum was good.
All right, moving on. Let's see, Mr. Niles.
I have nothing. Thank you.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
I feel fine.
whoa. Someone get him a doctor.
I'm not giving them mouth to mouth, that's for damn sure.
All right, Karen, how about you?
Consider, Jim, you want to reconsider? that?
Zoning.
Thank you.
All right, calm down. Zoning, Karen.
Okay, you got my report kind of late today. I'm sorry for the lateness of it, but we've been really busy. And the only thing that I really want to talk about is that, and we've already touched on it during the meeting, is that we still need an alternate on the zoning board. I did post it on the town website with a deadline of September 15th to submit letters of interest. We have received one already. We haven't gotten any other letters or interest yet. So I'm wondering, give it until the 15th, and then if you'd like, we can contact the one person that's submitted a letter of interest, and would you like to interview them at the next agenda meeting? Because we'd like to get them on the board by the
Yeah,
next month's meeting.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, one
And
letter, Mr. Spud a while ago, is that the one you're talking about?
when Annie was put on the board, we got a letter of interest that night. That is the only one that we have at this point.
15th to
I've
give us
had a
30
couple
days, which
of
is good.
People comment, but no one has submitted a letter of interest other than one for the zoning board. Now, the planning board is another issue. You just passed the resolution tonight to open up a second alternate position. You
Which
had
we have one.
interviewed two people for that position. You appointed one already. So we have another one that's already been interviewed. But if you're
That's-
opening up the position, do you want me to put it on the website for a couple of weeks and see if there's anyone else that's interested? And you've already interviewed the other person that we have the letter of interest on, and see what we get. And if we hear anything, we could hopefully, if I get it on the website tomorrow for 2 weeks, we could possibly interview them maybe at the agenda meeting.
You think 2 weeks is enough?
My personal thing, we talked with both men that night.
Yep.
And I don't have a problem with either one of them. We appointed the other one, the other
Yep.
gentleman that was here. Okay, I thought was more than adequate. Myself personally. If you want to go out for more people, that's up to you.
We'd still be short one.
Unless they want to go to the
No.
other, no,
No.
No,
Already
we
interviewed
have
both
a
of them.
full board,
you have a full board.
and we have one alternate right now.
For the planning. board.
For the planning board, they asked for a second alternate because,
Okay, so there's one position. And don't we need an alternate for the zoning board?
yes, but they are two different boards. You
I
don't,
know, but we need. Okay, I'm adding them together. We need one for each.
yes.
Yes. That's two.
So back to, do you want me to put it on?
Yeah.
The agenda meeting is the
Yes.
25th of September. We can do the zoning board one then, because the cutoff is already the 15th of September. But for the planning board, you've already interviewed one. Do you want to just fill that position with that person that you've interviewed? Or do you want me to put it on the website that there is an opening for an alternate? Is there, Mary, is there any legal reason why we should post it again, as we had that second person that showed interest and they've interviewed him?
You don't have to legally
Well-
ever post.
Okay,
Wasn't that person looking for the planning board instead?
yes, but I have now
Now
an
you have
opening
an
on
open
both.
plan, okay.
So do you want,
We should,
I say we just put the one.
I think
ad
we
for the
should
one
put them
person.
on. We had the two.
Yeah.
interviews.
so do you need to make a resolution to do that tonight?
Yes, I make a motion that we run that ad as described by our zoning enforcement officer.
I don't think that's.
That's not what I'm
No, no,
saying.
that wasn't
I
what she
think
said.
just looking for a motion to appoint the gentleman.
Yes.
that interviewed
I'd make a motion to appoint the,
That's what the
And I'll
board said.
second.
yeah,
Okay,
that's where we're heading with it. Jim.
and
That's right.
yes, that's right.
So the planning board.
Do I inform him? Do you
It
inform him?
hasn't passed yet.
Okay.
All right.
So a motion to appoint Francis Martindale as an alternate,
Correct.
To the
a
planning, board.
second alternate.
To the planning board.
To the planning board.
So that's the second alternate.
Now, he doesn't know that we're having this discussion, so,
I can either one.
yeah, so they need to vote.
So I have a motion and I have a second.
Right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, carry.
That's all I have.
Yeah, he did say that. Yep.
Oh, I see. what you're saying.
All
I'm
right.
sorry. I
Okay.
forgot that.
Deputy Town Clerk, Lori.
Okay, I provided the town clerk's report for the month of August. And I would like to revisit the water billing software discussion. There's no rush on that. But in order to start collecting credit cards for the tax payments, January 1st, actually the end of December, I'd really like you to consider a resolution to move forward with the tax portal, which is a one-time charge of $2,700. And it's the same $600 annual maintenance and support fee,
How much?
600. That's no different than it's been. But the one-time charge is 2,700 to get the portal. And the swiper is, for the card, is 125 for in-person payments. The other thing too is once we get the credit card system up and running, we can also collect credit card payments for all our other fees. And if there's Wi-Fi at the transfer station, which I don't know if there is or not, I'm told that we can get another swiper so that we can also accept credit cards. It'll come right over to our software. So I'd really like you to consider a resolution to move forward with the tax portal at this point, if you want to wait on the water billing software. That's not a big rush, but I would need to have a decision on that in the next couple of months because it takes 6 to 9 months to do that conversion, which we're gonna have to do eventually,
Which
which was the
company,
80
which company is supplying this?
Edmunds, the company that we deal with
You're
for all
comfortable,
our software.
you're comfortable.
Yes, we've had them since I've been here and I've been here 17 years.
You also mentioned our software is gonna go kaput.
Yes.
Eventually, it's going down.
That's what I was saying. You're gonna have to
There's
eventually.
no
do that.
upgrades available for it anyways. We're gonna have to upgrade it anyways.
Yeah.
So
And we can't collect credit cards for water payments without doing that when we start the new water billing in May.
I think we should just do it all in one shot and get it over with.
I agree.
I agree.
I did want to ask council a little bit, we're kind of. Because of software, we're kind of locked into that one, right?
Pretty much,
We'll have to
but they get
replace
all our.
A lot of
software.
other stuff if we change vendors.
The water program, the new water program with the conversion and everything, they help. They do all the conversion themselves. They do our training for us. That's $84.75, a one-time charge. And then the support for 3 years is $3,350. And I think that's pretty close to what we, if you break it down annually, what we already pay.
yeah, because we're gonna, yeah, like, again, the computer program's not gonna, we're running on ancient time dated stuff. Material, equipment that's gonna,
I got into a brief discussion. And thank God Lori was up on this pretty well. She was checking on the cost of the new heads on top of the water meters and breaking
yeah.
that down. She was also talking about the handheld machine that the boys use. And I was trying to figure out exactly if the heads we presently buy, and I'm using just rounded figures, $100, and the new ones are $120, which instead of getting out of the vehicle, they can drive by and go click, click, and keep right on going like down there with Mohawk does. Of course, there's a savings there in time factor. Instead of 2 people, you're down to 1. And they say they can do the town in 3 to 4 days.
And as often as we want to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the whole
that
total
quote
picture on
came in.
that, I asked the young lady, do we have to go into that big expense in regards to being able to pull up Granny Goodwitch down the street saying she's ran water today and her average is 20 gallons a day, and all of a sudden she gets a jump for a couple of days and then it goes back to 20. I asked her, are you going to spend and take the time once a day to go and scan everybody's water situation and everything else? No,
I didn't say no.
she said she would.
If if I'm told to do that, I would do
That
that,
is,
right?
I'm not gonna tell you to do that,
I know, I'm just saying, I didn't say no. I
No,
just
you
want to
didn't.
clarify that.
okay? But is it a factor of the additional expense? And I spoke my piece to you and I'm
Mhm.
telling these people right here. Is it something that we have to go? There is some benefits. If somebody's got a complaint and their water usage has gone up. And she can go back and pull it up. Okay. On their records and say, what the heck's going on? Well, that's something different. Okay, this happens 2 or 3 times a year. Okay. But the expense. It'd be great for a bigger town than ours, I think.
So the gentleman
You
that
have
was
that
here
price
was
that-
Jason from Thai Sales.
Right.
That's a whole nother set of software that Paul's talking about.
Yeah.
Where you can detect the leaks and all that. And converting everything over and getting the radio reader and all that. It was over $500,000.
Yeah. Even with the palletize, remember we talked
Mhm.
about palletize getting.
Yeah,
I'm glad you said that.
well over $500,000 to do it. And really, you're saving the meter readers about 4 days of work.
2 men
For $500,000.
for $500,000.
I mean, plus you can do all that other stuff, but that's your
getting paid
call. Is it
anyways.
worth
You're getting paid it.
all that?
And
It would help Ron out. But where
Yeah.
my feeling is,
And that's not what I'm asking for. I'm asking just on the billing side.
right,
It's
I'm
a
sorry.
whole separate thing.
Yes, I got going a little farther, I'm
That's okay.
sorry.
I
That
didn't
other
know we
one, that
got,
other one, we have to spend some time
I
on.
didn't know we
Yeah.
had gotten that quote.
Oh, yeah, they've been holding it as a secret.
I have a question on it for Jason. I'm not holding it. I have a question on it for Jason because I feel like he might have duplicated something. And I have to get a hold of him and go through that. And then I will forward it
Maybe
on.
there was just, a couple extra zeros.
But I didn't see where it would have been a big duplication, so.
Back to the program you're talking about, I suggest we move forward with
Billing
that.
only.
Yeah.
I suggest we
let's
do,
just-
because we're gonna have to anyways.
Yeah.
It's an hour later.
I agree.
And the I-tax, that one's 27.
27.
Yep.
So do we need to? do
Make a motion.
Okay. Okay, so the first resolution will be to purchase the upgraded water billing software,
You have a motion, I'll second it. You need a
For-
Second.
8475. I'm sorry, Councilman Hammer. you making a
Yes, I'll
motion?
second it. Paul made the motion. I'll
Okay.
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. Thank you. And then the I-tax portal so that we can collect credit cards for taxes also.
That's 3225.
That is 2,700 the
27.
first year,
And 20.
And then 125 for the,
125 for the swiper,
And 60 and 600 for the,
annual fee,
Annual
which
fee.
is normal
so you're
anyway.
talking 3225 for the total.
Okay.
No, that's included.
Okay,
I'll make that motion.
I'll
I'll sec-
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Hey, he's over there.
Hearing none carried. Thank you. And that, having the equipment to do the credit cards for those 2 programs will also allow us to collect for other fees.
And it's
we can-
expandable. We can add
We can,
okay, good.
we can add to it.
I like it.
Thank you. And let's see, I think that's all I have. No. I handed out, or I emailed you all the 2024 town budget process with the important dates. So you have that. If you have any questions, let me know. And then Adirondack Folk School, I forwarded the email. They want to know if you want to run an ad again. I believe in the past, we've done a full page. And I believe that fee is $5.50. A half page is 300, quarter page is 175.
Anybody know who put the ad together
I don't.
last time?
I think they did. Well, no,
He needs to be upgraded.
well, we can look at it. then.
They have a deadline of the 20th.
Next week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what do you want to change? Well, you want to make the motion that we're gonna do it and we can relook at the ad and get it over.
No, just a question. This is for the folk schools, the ad for the folk school? And it's gonna go in what paper now?
Their booklet that they mail out.
Okay,
It's their course catalog.
don't they put that up themselves in their own budget, or don't they have their own budget?
Yeah, they do.
This would be us
So-
buying an ad, therefore.
Yeah.
Yes.
What did we do last year?
Full page.
Full page.
Full page.
We've done that for a few years.
I understand, okay. Better.
I guess we make continuation.
We should. It supports that.
It supports the town,
Do you want to
They
do,
had over 1,000 students.
right?
you want to do the full page?
Yeah.
Yeah,
As far as I know, the building is still moving along, right? Construction of a new building.
be a while yet, but it's a lot of.
It's moving though.
And that's $5.50.
Yeah,
And you're going to update it before we submit it.
that can come out of the optics. couldn't it?
We can probably do that.
Yeah,
I don't know if we did it last year, but we can.
I think we did.
It's advertising to tourism.
That's right.
And we can take that out.
Take it out of the
occupancy now.
optic.
Out of paid for by Octave.
I will make that motion.
A second.
Well, we have to see that. I haven't seen it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried.
Here's the thing that stuck out, restaurants, barbecues and delis.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look at that.
Gotta at least take the S off, right?
Okay, and then I have one more thing. I received another request to reduce the water bill for account 3470. I emailed that letter to you with a copy of the bill.
Well, if we
For
we
the
make
money
any
that we're-
move, we gotta move to the water board first if we make any move. But. So I need a motion to go into the water board.
Make a motion.
Second.
Okay.
Good one, you got me.
You're going down, you're going.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, now you can discuss it.
The amount is like what, $25 that she's disputing, this
Yeah.
person is disputing,
Yes, it's a, 150 is the base fee.
it's $25.
$24.
2406.
I'm rounding up, I'm being nice.
Oh, okay.
I mean. It's pennies, I mean, they're,
It went through the meter.
pay the bill, I mean, what do you,
Yeah,
I don't know what to tell the
so
person,
you're opposed to.
yes,
giving them back money.
yes, I am. Yes,
That's me too.
So you got a motion?
Was there a problem with the meter or was there a leak or?
The guys were there and looked at
It
it.
could have been surmising. But nobody was living at the house from the period of time the meters were read,
Red.
done. Okay, duh. Come on, give me a break, huh? Until they called, there was 1,000+ gallons of water used.
Since June when we read.
Right.
Yeah.
And nobody
And no one's
was
living
living in
there.
the house at the time, they're saying. So where'd the water go? Like I said, it could be a sticky toilet valve or something like that.
Anywhere.
Water went through the meter. The boy said there was no leaks. It went through that meter, went into that house someplace. So,
That means we had to pump that water. Chlorinate that water, they have to deliver.
That's right. And they get the first 60,000 gallons for $150.
They need to
All right,
be-
so we got a motion to turn it down in a second.
To deny the appeal.
Yes,
Yes,
Who made the motion, please?
Hanlon.
I did.
Second it.
I didn't. We all did.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried.
All right,
You need a motion.
motion to come out of the water board.
Make a motion.
Second,
Where are the strings that are holding us?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried.
You done, Lori?
I think I'm done.
All right,
Yes, I am.
our attorney, legal counsel, Mary. Nothing.
Not tonight.
Two in a row.
I get an earphone too.
All right, then it's just me and I have only one thing.
Excuse me, you forgot Ron.
What?
Save the best for the last, right, Gene?
Who?
Didn't you have a whole hour before this?
Oh, I missed you way back here. Why don't you say something? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ron.
We finished late tour. Blacktop, and now we just got to put shoulders on and a few driveways, which we're doing tomorrow. We paved circular, that's done. I got a driveway up there to do. And coming up, we have a water tap on Sullivan, we have a water tap on in Second Lake, we have a water tap on East River Drive. And we have a valve to swap out on the Heights that's won't shut off. And Thomas Road, we have 4 culverts to replace and brush to do. And then binder it. And then Howe Road, we got brushing and culverts on there to do. There you go.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you. All right. All right, I only have one thing. I got a letter from the Tri-Town Senior Club for their bus trips. They did last year, they did 98 members. Corinth, Hadley, Lake Luzerne had 25. It's 2,500 is what they're asking for the bus trip. We do whatever.
Yeah.
Make a motion.
second,
In the budget, right?
It's always in the budget.
Do it every year.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay, we got,
Opposed? Hearing none carried.
all right. Open to the public for any questions? Something? Goods, bads, or in,
Get started. Can I change the disc?
maybe she's only got a couple
Chris.
minutes.
Strategically does that. Chris does. Take
Yeah, I know.
take the steam out of us.
I know. You think you get anything, go for it, you want to have. Instead of this.
Still not convinced something's wrong with you. Still not convinced. You guys, I'm still not convinced nothing's wrong with it. We all looked at it, we had nothing to say, and I'm shocked. No, I'm shocked.
Maybe I told them. Shut up.
I don't know. I tried to help Ron out today. He said he wanted to be home by 10 o'clock. So.
Yeah, the football game. Football game started.
Get tucked in, ready to go to bed.
I got home at.
Jim was walking in, I said, did you bring your bed forward tonight? Oh, my God.
It's like 10 o'clock. Yeah.
Probably could have had a question answered faster than that.
They're gonna have a new advertising.
All right, we're back in service.
Advertising.
No,
Hi, Sonia Harris. A couple things. So where do you find the zoning board, planning board? I was on the website to say that there's applications for that. Where is it?
there isn't an application for it. It's a letter that you need to submit to.
But how would somebody know that when it's not posted anywhere?
It is on there. It's on the main web page. It says that, yeah, it's way down, but it is on the main web page. And then I believe it's also on the individual departments under zoning board of appeals and planning board.
Okay, I was just trying to look and I didn't see it.
And the
I'll go through it
ethics
again.
board, right?
Okay.
Right, and, yeah,
That it?
we haven't got that, the
Okay.
advertisement yet for that. but-
Okay. I was just wondering, Mr. Niles, where we are with the playground,
With the what?
with the playground?
Yeah, we haven't had
That
a meeting in a
meeting,
while.
yeah.
He's away.
That's another, well, we got it up in the 200,000 area.
Oh,
I
geez.
don't know. I don't know. He's away
They're not cheap.
I know, they're
for
not.
3 weeks in September.
Yeah.
Not sure exactly when. I was gonna pester him when he gets back.
Who's that?
But he's got design ideas.
And you'll keep the people that were on the town advisory committee updated about that?
Sure.
Okay.
Probably what's going to happen is once his ideas are presented,
It'll come back here.
then it'll definitely come back for the townspeople to put their 2 cents in.
Okay. Just one question. This may relate to Dane a little bit. On the river this year, the water was high. It was really high. Tubers were going down past where I live a lot. We had to do a couple of little rescues. Nobody got hurt, thank goodness. People that came up over the bank to my house and Mr. Hanlon's house, they asked us how they would know, like if they got past some points, where they were. And there used to be years ago, there on the trees, there was signs that said, take out A, take out B, take out C. Is that something the town put in, or is it something that Adirondack Park put in, or was it the tubing company?
Yeah, it says DEC land, I
The
think.
DEC.
It's their land.
Yeah, I proposition them.
Okay,
It'd be something that interesting because like you said, we had a very dramatic thing happen.
yeah, I
so-
mean, if it wasn't for Mr. Hanlon and my husband and his son, this lady probably would have. She was diabetic, she was hypothermic, she came up,
85.
climbed a hill. This one girl climbed a hill. They had no idea where they were on the river. And it had started storming. So I was just wondering where those signs were. I guess I'll call DEC. I just didn't know if you guys knew.
It'd be a good idea, maybe in the future, we could start a meeting with them, sit down and talk to them, because hey, there's a genuine issue on there. The people identifying the takeouts, it's an incredible.
Just to
safety issue.
identify them.
That was a bad.
I would
scene
hate
that
to
day.
see something
Wasn't good.
happen to that. And then on River Road again, it's busy summer, the river was high, so Mr. Morton's getting taken out down like by Pikes and that pull off area there that where the campers always camp and
Yeah.
it's a busy area. The trees, I know Ron is extremely busy, but the trees are overlapping the road. I took it upon myself, went down and cut some of the trees so that we can see their buses. Because it's dangerous. It is so dangerous on that road for these buses to be parked on almost both sides, basically. And then they're standing in the road, they're stopping vehicles. They're like, slow down. It's only 40 through there. You should be going 40, but the trees have got to get cut back on there. It's somebody's going to get hurt on River Road. I've lived there for 24 years. And it's just getting worse and worse every summer with the amount of traffic. And then the company doesn't go there if the water is low, but this summer you were getting out there all summer long. And I'm just worried somebody's gonna get hurt.
Right, Ron.
And he knows, he's
On the
busy.
list.
He's busy, but I don't want to see their company get a lawsuit or anything either for somebody getting hit in the middle of the road. So it's just something that needs to be looked at some point.
Yeah, that'd be a comment. I think-
After paving.
Yeah,
I got a small crew.
yeah, you do
Only
have a
do
small
so
crew
much.
and Ron knows it. And somebody cleaned it. I literally took my husband thought I was crazy. He didn't even go with me because he thought I was nuts. I took all the brush, I pushed it to one side. Somebody cleaned it up. I don't know who did. It could have been his crew, Dane's crew. I don't know if he did. Thank you. Could have been Ron's. Thank you. I mean, I talked to Ron. He knows. I know he's busy, but I'm just afraid somebody's gonna get hurt.
Yeah, I think that's because it's the state is involved in it.
The state could have cleaned it up. I don't know.
But then I think it'd be great to have together, them sit down.
I don't
It
even,
is the high water takeout, and
Yeah.
if it's gonna be, they need to do something.
I wouldn't even mind creating a River Road crew if that's something that like Ron wouldn't mind we did, or the town wouldn't mind we did, like people on River Road, bring your saws, I would organize that. If it's something we would be allowed to do.
I think a liability there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's better off letting
We'll
Ron.
get- We'll get to it.
Ron.
Well, we have till next summer now, but
Now, yeah, I was just gonna say, he's got some,
Don't say that.
I just don't want to see anybody get hurt. I mean, Dave probably knows they're
Well,
coming up with the
the
tubes.
river
and-
was high this year.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I know.
I'll give you a quick thing. Even our dam here in town, we always take the boards out on, October 15th. We never put them back in this year. The water was always going over the
Yeah.
spillway without boards.
Yeah, we tubed a couple times and people didn't, we had to help a family get off. Besides the one that climbed the bank, another family get off. They had no idea where they were on the river. They were like just past Mahoney's a little bit. People had no idea where they were. I think when the water's high, they're just a little lost. They're like, oh, where are we?
Well, they're not.
Then, right, well, these,
I've
People
had
were-
people climb into my yard and ask me if it was the boat launch.
yeah. So it's just something to think about in the future with the river. That's all. All right, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sonia.
All right, anybody else?
Just real quick, Tim Plummer. Wondering what people are thinking about this residence on the corner of Potash and Old Stage. With all these treasures up there.
No, that's up,
Ash and all this thing.
that would be
Take it right up there. You can't miss it.
next
what
time
House junk that's up there in that guy's yard.
Oh, that's,
sculptures.
we'll have to
That's
pass.
what they call it.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean,
Have you
It's
got any
the
complaints? about that?
Eclectic collection of
I haven't
car
had any
beds.
complaints this year, but we've looked at, we're told by the owner that it is for his children. It's like it's kind of modeled after like a miniature golf
Oh, that's. I
course
know that
type
one.
thing, and it's for his grandchildren.
with a pile of wood that somebody tore a house down and dumped in the front yard.
Well, we'll look at that.
Okay, and you know.
I haven't had anybody complain this year. We had looked before, but again, that's what we were told.
Cause I was up in there beginning of the summer. In my profession, guys that I work with are from all over the place. And they asked me, we were fixing power lines up there.
Can you send me an email, please, with your name and ask me to go up and look at it?
And they said, what is that place? You
Yeah.
know,
That's a collector.
or it's something, you know, something needs to be addressed there. You know,
Well,
for the community. I mean, there's people that Dane brings, how many buses go by it? A
The
day
ex-
for Dane,
any,
and they bring people coming into our community and they're seeing that place. And nothing's being done about it, you know,
well, I will take a look at it.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
Somebody else I still standing up.
Diane Powers. I just had a quick question and I didn't ask it before because I thought you would probably address it when you were discussing, but the possible resolution to set a public hearing on amendment to town ordinance. What town ordinance and what is the subject matter and why wasn't that on the agenda? At least the ordinance
So
number.
Now that the public hearing is set, it's gonna be on the website, and you can go on the website,
Okay.
get all the documentation you need for it to be prepared for the public hearing that's not set until October 10th.
Okay. So you're not gonna say tonight what town ordinance it is?
It's the,
It's the use of public,
Yes.
the town lands for parking.
Parking, yeah.
and
Okay.
Things of
it was a
this sort.
clarification of it.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah, it
I
was just,
just-
We've
a-
had people-
Is there an ordinance number or is
Right
there?
now, we don't have.
Don't
any
have-
No, they don't.
If somebody wants
That's what we're gonna,
to
why
pitch
we're
a
gonna
tent
do it.
in, say, the town park.
Okay, so the subject matter is parking,
Property being put
Use
on
of
town
town
property.
You said town. park.
town property or private property?
personal property.
Personal.
On
People-
public, on public town property. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
personal.
And so there's no ordinance currently.
currently.
So
No,
it's,
That's not true.
okay, so that's why I'm confused about the word amendment.
They don't number their ordinances, the answer.
Okay.
There is a town ordinance, they're just amending it to include parking lots. So right now it doesn't include all parking lots. It
Okay.
Just includes two, maybe?
Only for. some-
Yeah.
And then town parks, but so they're amending it to include all parking lots, all town-owned property, including vacant land. And it's so that people can't occupy it personally or with personal possessions.
Okay,
Is it for storing private property, keeping private property?
To give you a quick
Uh,
thing, like our town parking lot by the pavilion,
yeah,
we don't really close the gates. And sometimes people put cars and trucks in there 2-3
Okay.
days. And that's only so we
Okay, gotcha.
can enforce it. That's-
Okay, okay, that was all.
So the
And the
changes
off-
should be included on the website now that they've set the public hearing.
Okay,
Also, along with that, in regards to winter, there is a town ordinance that there's not to be parking from
mm-hmm,
certain, and, you know, during one part of the year
right,
to the spring of the other on town roads.
right.
These parking facilities that are open and owned by the town, they will be able to be used to get those vehicles off for 24 hours so the plows can get through and take care of our streets and things like that.
Okay, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, anybody else?
Dane Morton, I just wanted to address a couple of the things Sonia said. Those signs she was talking about, they used to be hung up by a company called Beaverbrook Outfitters, where Fish Heads was. They used to run self-guided tubing trips down there, and they took it upon themselves to throw those signs up so that their customers knew where to get out. And I think the DEC is the one that took them down a number of years ago.
Come down?
Yeah.
Really?
Because they're just on state property. They won't let us mark anything on state property, so.
We'd have to involve them, get them in on it.
Got to get them involved.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
safety issue, so it'd be good for everybody. You guys, it'd be good for everybody involved.
it's similar to what Jim and I talked about last year. Last year, the state designated certain areas there. Both the tubing companies and the general public are allowed to access the river. They had a massive turnover in officers, as they always do. I ran into one of the new officers. I asked her because clearly there was no enforcement of that throughout the year. She had no idea that that was even a thing. So it was kind of, again, a free for all up there. To Sonia's point, we did, because of the high water, we took out at Schofield Flats, the state access point down there. Most of the year, I did approach the new DEC officer to ask her if we could get, because a lot of my customers obviously are handicapped and things like that, you know, that go tubing. If we could get access to the gate, she said no, but that would have got the buses off the road, obviously, to make it a safer situation. I also wanted to thank Ron for cutting back some of the trees where we normally take out Thomas Road intersection with River Road, because that did help with visibility and safety at that intersection. So again, anything the town can do to get the state involved and actually stay on them with that area would be much appreciated by everybody involved, because it is a safety issue. The water was unbelievably high all summer. It made it incredibly challenging. We had to do probably 7 or 8 rescues, which was not of any of our people, but just the general public going down and not having a clue the difference in water levels and things like that. So it was kind of a scary summer there, but we need definitely more oversight in that area. So I just wanted to kind
I'm
of.
sure your opinion would be the same as mine. I wouldn't expect much help from the state.
No, none at all. No, they sent me a very threatening letter last year about accessing points and things like that. And like I said, everything, they got a new officer in and she's great. You know, she's a great officer, but there's no briefing.
Just don't know anything.
There's no briefing of them. No, they just get in there and they're trying to do their best, but they have no clue what's
Back
going
when we
on.
were talking to them, whatever it was, they weren't even sure they were gonna have one.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
did say if there is one, it would be a new person.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's, you know, there's a new person for the Luzerne area and then also across the river in Hadley and Stony Creek, you know, they're 2 different officers and you kind of get 2 stories from each one. So that's just kind of the situation on the river, but any support,
See what we can do.
corroboration with the state would be great. That's all.
Thanks.
Thank you, Dane.
Anybody else? You already had your chance.
I know, I only did a minute and a half. I got a half.
You only got a half a minute.
That's it. Refresh my memory from a while back that we had a problem with a water tester a while back, and we paid for his or her certification to test water. Once they get that certificate, they take off on us. Am I correct in thinking that?
Not really.
No.
Well, what part am I not getting real?
The lifeguards were doing that. We talked about that.
The whole thing, basically.
Well, a while back, who pays for their training?
The town.
Town. So my memory is coming back. So the town pays for this person to get certified to test our water.
He went to school to
Yes,
start his testing, which he's now got to take in a period of time. He's got to put in 2,000 hours. Then he goes back for the state certification. Okay.
at our expense. Don't forget that part.
At our expense. Over the course of the year, since last year, these people are supposed to have close to 2,000 hours in. And the one person we're talking about had 100.
So my memory is not wrong.
Huh?
So my memory is not wrong.
That person was a full-time employee already.
Of
at
the
the
town.
Well,
So
I think what you're saying is we're gonna, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, if we're going to hire someone,
Yeah.
train them,
yes,
and then they book out of town and go work for someone
that's
else.
exactly what the sheriff's department, Glens Falls
but
Police
that's
do.
well, for one thing, the person that was.
Yeah.
Has gotten out, worked for the town, and he stays with the
I'm
town.
not disputing that. I
Okay.
am saying, we are paying for an education. Once that education is given, they have the opportunity to take off on us.
You
That
want to
is
know
not
something,
correct.
Fred? That is no different than the years somebody works for you and did work for you. And how many people have you had over the years, unless you've got a certified contract that they can't leave you?
So the conversation that I started out with, refresh my memory, is now coming back to everybody.
Oh, never had a problem with it.
Well, I had a problem in the opening statement when, we don't remember nothing. That was the opening statement from the board. So the question is, we're paying for certification. And these people are taking off or quitting or whatever you want to call it.
No, that's wrong.
That's what I'm saying.
The
The
potential.
way the board set it up a
what
couple
do-
of years ago was we were going to have 2 highway department guys. 3 highway department guys. Go down and work with our water treatment plant operator. X number of hours so that they would get the experience that's required so they could apply for the license. Okay, that hasn't worked.
Well, it doesn't work because you got to be certified.
No,
It hasn't worked to be able to get them down there to do the training because they're
Yes.
too busy plowing the roads and stuff.
But we're still paying the bill.
There's
So
no-
somehow,
There's no
What
bill.
who's paying their education to get that certification?
they took a 1-week course.
Right. the
The
one-
town did.
Right.
That's
The
true.
town, but we're paying it.
We did pay for
1
that
week
course.
That's what I'm saying.
1 week.
We
course,
have to
yes.
somehow ensure ourselves that we're paying, like Paul said, we're paying you to learn how to put air conditioning in. Once I teach you, you take off on me. That's not right.
There's no way to do that, Fred.
Well,
Give us
there's,
an answer.
there's got to be some kind of an answer someplace. Maybe the attorney knows the answer. I don't know.
Fred, what we're gonna try now is we're gonna run an ad for somebody that's already certified.
Well, that may work. That would work good.
And the reason, Fred, also, it wasn't handled right by all of us, because we shouldn't have taken 3 gentlemen from the one department, so what happens, there's not enough time for them to go that they have to do it.
Yes.
Because there's roads, there's culverts, this thing,
I understand
That's
all of
why.
that.
so now the 2 men that were doing it, one doesn't want to do it at all,
I understand that.
and we worked on that.
Yes,
The other one, Logan, is in a standby, but he doesn't want to do it either.
I understand that.
Because these guys work 10-hour days in the summer.
I
It's
understand
tough to
that.
Work at nighttime.
Yes. My dispute is that certificate, that should be certified by Luzerne, that you are certified. So that if you take off, that certification stays here and we then,
It's
well,
under the state of New York.
Yeah, so
Pardon?
That's a help.
That's a health, that's the state of New York. You're trying to guarantee that a man won't take off on us.
I'm not saying, he can take off, but I want the certificate to
Goes
stay
with
here.
him.
Mm.
That's state certification.
Well,
It's a good idea, but I don't think, yeah.
That's why we're looking for.
He's got a good
part-time
idea, but he
person
can't
that
do it.
Has all the, the B, especially a B in the classification to do what we need.
yes. But I know in Glens Falls, their police department trains their police. once they get their certification, they take off to the
They're
sheriff's
gone. We have
department.
that in Warren County too.
I mean, so,
The DOT with the plow drivers, they go to DOT, they get, then you go to a town and get paid more money.
That's
yeah,
right.
that's what I'm saying. So somehow, maybe the attorney can figure out how that certificate stays in Lake Luzerne.
Yeah, figure that out, Mary.
Huh?
It's a personal certificate.
So, I mean,
You have to pay them enough money to keep it.
well,
Well, I think we're trying to help that, Mr. Zubel, by having someone that's certified to come in.
yeah, that would be the cheaper deal.
Yes.
Yes, because, you know, if somebody's already paid to train him,
Right.
I don't.
And
wanna
it's not
pay
gonna be on
another person
our
a
So
year.
then
tax
you're
dollar.
asking that gentleman who just paid to train them to bring his certification from the other location
Well,
and not pay him
That's
for it.
part of the law. But I don't think every year
So
we should have to
can
hire a
steal.
new person and pay
That's right.
for it.
Right.
You gotta be
To
smart, you
go test the water.
gotta be smart and grab the prize first.
Save the money.
Nice
Thank you,
try,
Fred.
Freddie.
Thank you.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
All in favor?
Hi.
Well, Sharon, thank you all for coming.
He's got a good point. I mean, he's got a good point.